Hey everybody, today I'm going to be making the first video in what will likely be a series of me showing off and talking about my video game collection, or rather specific parts of it. Today I'm going to be focusing on my PS1 RPGs, starting with a bargain bin title called Battle Hunter. It's only first because I'm going in alphabetical order, but this game actually does sort of have a bit of a special place in my heart because it's the first review I ever wrote for the internet. I'm going to provide a link to it on my blog, which has been sort of neglected lately, but I'm figuring that there I'll be able to say more about it than I would here, and also save myself some time. And if you really want to know about this game, check it out down there on the blog. It's a pretty good one, bargain bin game, bought it for about $10, worth the price. Up next is probably the cheapest JRPG I ever bought, with the possible exception of a couple of Super Nintendo games I got at like a thrift store for $1. I think it was Arcana, something like that. Changing the subject, I guess. And it's Breath of Fire 3. It's never played it, but I intend to at some point. I bought it a couple months ago. I don't actually have the case, as I'm sure you can see here. A thrift store buy, $3. Just has like the front cover of. I don't know if this is the front cover for the. I'm guessing it's the front cover for the manual because it's got stuff on the back of it. The Capcom Helpline. But yeah, I've never played it, and I've never played any of the Breath of Fire games. But for $3, I really doubt I'll be disappointed if I do play it. The disc looks like it's in working condition. Again, I haven't even put it in my PlayStation to tell, but you know, I've heard some pretty good things about this, and getting it for $3, even without the case, really good deal considering that it tends to seem to go for like the 20 to 30 range on eBay. At least I don't have the real case there, huh? Up next, Chrono Cross. I, again, haven't played this, but it's a fairly recent addition to my collection. I bought it a couple weeks ago. Cost me $10. I still have the price sticker on it. Doubt you can see that, but $10. I have the manual with an ad for Final Fantasy IX on the back. Both discs, great condition. Little crack on the back of the case here, but that's I can live with that. But yeah, I've heard mixed things about this. People say, "Oh, it's fantastic." People say, "Oh, it's horrendous." I don't know. I'm gonna have to make that decision for myself. Up next, another sort of bargain bin title. I've seen this on PriceCharting.com or .net. I forgot what it is. But on the price charting website I go to, this seems to be going for like less than $10 on eBay. It's called Eternal Eyes. Again, haven't played it. I have a lot of games to get to, so you know, bargain bin RPGs aren't going to be at the top of the list. But you know, it might be good. Don't know, but I intend to find out at some point. This one I actually only bought because I got the strategy guide the same day at the store, the retail store for it. The Grand Stream Saga. I actually remember playing this on a demo disc. There are anime cutscenes, and they're actually pretty well animated. The voice acting is crappy, of course, but I have the strategy guide and the game for it, and I think that all total this cost me about $15 for this entire set, and good price. But I only bought it for the strategy guide, which is, you know, I've played the game for probably about an hour or two. Unfortunately, that information was lost because my PS3 crapped out, and it was on the internal memory card for that, but I'm going to try to restart it soon. But it really looked cool. It kind of impressed me for a fairly cheap, little obscure action RPG. It's worth checking out. Up next is... These three are pretty much essentials for any PS1 RPG fan. Final Fantasy VII, 8, and 9. I don't really feel like I need to talk too much about these, but I do also have all 3 of the manuals, fairly recent purchases, and they're in excellent condition. Mentioned that in another video I made. It comes with the stickers for Final Fantasy VIII in here, missing one of them, and advertisements for Toyota and Frosted Cheerios. I don't know why that amuses me. But, yeah, I do want to say something about 9. Growing up, I really didn't like this game. But now that I'm older, I actually really appreciate it as, like, this throwback to the old days of Final Fantasy. I mean, I do consider this to be, like, the last great Final Fantasy. The end of an era, really. And the world map music is one of my favorite pieces of video game music ever. I just love this game almost as much as I love 7. And almost as much as I dislike 8. But, you know. Up next, a few more Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy Anthology. It's got 5 and 6 on it. And I have the booklet with it, too. Yeah, I believe that this was the first sort of retro game thing I ever bought. Unfortunately, I lost my original copy, I think. This might be it. I actually don't remember, but it might have been Chronicles I bought a couple of years ago. I don't really know, and it's not important. But buying this was probably my first, like, retro game purchase. It was during the PS1 era, but it's like, hey, here are these 2 Super Nintendo games that I've never played, and I'm really curious about them because I like 7, so why not? 5 and 6 are both great games, and I love both of them, so great addition to my collection. Chronicles. I actually haven't played this much. I've played Chrono Trigger on it quite a bit, but I haven't really beaten it yet. And I've played Final Fantasy IV on the Game Boy Advance re-release, so I really didn't see any reason to play it just for the better cutscenes. I've beaten the Final Fantasy IV Game Boy Advance re-release, so... But, you know, these are both really cool to have, and the cutscenes for Chrono Trigger, gorgeous. Well worth the added load times. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I grew up in the PS1 era. I can deal with that. Next, another game I never played at all. The Guardians Crusade. Can't say much about it, but I do love this this little blurb on the back. A beautifully animated, inventive, and meticulously detailed RPG from the creators of Toshinden. Really? You're bragging about how your game, about how this... I love that this reviewer was just trying to sell up, yeah, these are the guys that made the awesomeness that is Battle Arena Toshinden. There was like a period of time in the 90s when people liked those games. Now we all realize how mediocre they were, if we remember them at all. I still kind of like them. Great music, and Toshinden 3 was hilariously broken, and I'm talking more about Battle Arena Toshinden than I am this game. Understandable, I've never played this game, but it's another one of those games that's kind of on my to-play list. And you can probably expect to get it for a pretty low price, too, because it's not, like, a particularly expensive game. You can... yeah, about $10. I just checked on a little list I made. You can get it for about $10 if you're at all interested. This next one, I actually don't have anything more than this one disc for it. I bought it with my copy of Siphon Filter 2 at a thrift store. The Legend of Dragoon. I don't know anything about this game. I just hear people say that it's great. And I want to get the second disc before I play it. But, you know, if it's good, tell me, and I can shell out $20-25 for the actual disc, which seems to be the going rate, I guess. Kind of got to be careful because it's only the disc. Parasite Eve, another recent purchase, survival horror JRPG. I really like it. I haven't been playing it for too long, but it's pretty cool. It comes with a collector's CD for a playable demo of Xenogears, and movies for Bushido Blade 2, which was awesome, Brave Fencer Musashi, which I haven't played in years, but I remember it being pretty cool, and Final Fantasy VIII. Up next is one of my favorite video games of all time, Star Ocean: The Second Story. Amazing soundtrack, great story, the animations for the characters are great, a lot of detail, a lot of personality in the art design, and the soundtrack, I think I already said that, friggin' amazing. I've heard people bash on it because the voice acting sucks, and it does, and you can't turn the voice acting off. You kind of have to take that with the rest of it, because it's a fantastic game. Highly recommend it. This is another one. I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, I guess, but I haven't actually played Wild Arms 2. I haven't played the first one. I think that might be the reason I'm hesitating to play it, but it's in great condition. The manual's in just amazing condition. It's like brand new. Yeah, the discs don't have a single scratch on them. It's... The box has some like goo on the cover there. I'm trying to angle it towards the light there, if you can, maybe a little bit. Yeah, $15 for this. Never played it, but price sticker's still on there. Wrong side. Yeah, if it's any good, tell me. I'll make the time to play it. And up next is I actually wrote something about this in my blog. I'll provide another link to that below. Because I bought this game. I consider it one of my better purchases because I got it for... It's Xenogears. I got it for like $20, I think. Because it didn't come with the manual. It was a Greatest Hits edition. And it had these like weird splotches on the back of the case. I don't know what the hell those are, but they're not coming off. And the seller only had like 20 things ever sold to his name, so people were shying away from it, which is why I got it for such a low price. But it's fantastic. I think the first, if I remember right, the first boss is like a dinosaur. You have kung fu robots fighting a dinosaur. I mean, how the hell can you not love that? I also have the first disc. It's a thrift store purchase. I think I got it the same day as Breath of Fire. Standalone of the first disc. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I could ever even sell this. I mean, I might. I'm sort of considering it. But it's not really in, like, perfectly clean condition, so I might have to mark it down. Yeah, I could probably get, like, $5 for this on eBay. I don't know what the price for a single disc of a game is, but, you know, I like Xenogears. It's a damn good game. And I just noticed this has Square Enix written on it. I don't know exactly when Square and Enix merged, but I thought it was during the PS2 era for some reason. But yeah, Star Ocean? No, it just says Enix. Final Fantasy X? Squaresoft. I don't know, maybe it's just on the later Greatest Hits release that has that. I don't have a clue. I don't really care either, but you know, this is a great game. Great story. Kung Fu robots fighting dinosaurs. How can you not love this? Yeah, no, if you haven't played Xenogears, it's probably on the PlayStation Network, so you can get it for cheap, too. So, yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend that. And most of these games I would recommend, even the ones I didn't talk about, or like even 8 that I don't like, I would recommend, because someone might like it. Before I forget, floating around somewhere, I also have a copy of Front Mission 3. It's a loose copy. I have it in a case with a bunch of other games who I don't have cases for. Great game. Can't recommend it enough. Loved it. Haven't played it in a while, but I mean, I'm a fan of the Front Mission series. Anything with giant robots I kind of like, but if it goes for like $15, I might actually buy a replacement. But that seems to be the price on eBay and on that price charting site, so check that out if you're interested. So that's the first video in this little series I'm going to do. Not sure when the second video will be. Probably sometime soon. So, like, subscribe, watch the next video when I come out with it. Watch my older videos if you're the slightest bit interested. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.